Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're watching me for the first time, my name is Lizzie. You're welcome. For new subscribers, thank you for subscribing to this channel. I promise you're not going to regret it. For old subscribers, thank you guys for always coming back to watch my videos. I love you guys so much. So today I'm going to show you all how I was able to achieve this beautiful makeup. And the first thing I did was to carve her brows, and that is what you can see me do right now. You need to pick up a razor that has not been used. It has to be new. So right now I'm cleaning off the dirt from her face using a face wipe. I'm just going to clean it off so that the makeup can last longer. So after doing that, I went in with Cetaphil moisturizer. This is just going to make her skin soft and smooth so that the makeup can sink into her skin properly. So after going in with moisturizer, I went in with Miron Skin Prep. I love Miron Skin Prep a lot because it just enables the makeup to last longer. Everything stays on your face for a very long time. Some time ago I got this for 8,000 naira, but I believe it's 9,000 in the market right now. So after applying Miron Skin Prep, I went in with Zaron face primer, and then I'm just damping that into her skin so that everything sits on her skin properly. So I waited for about a minute before applying foundation. So this foundation that I'm applying on her skin is from My Cheek. I went in with one of their darkest shades of foundation, and I'm just applying that on her face. And from the video you will notice that this shade of foundation that I'm using looks much like her neck, but her T-zone areas, that's the highlight zone, they're a little bit lighter than the other parts of her face. So I'm going to go in with a lighter shade of foundation, and that's what you can see me do right now. I'm applying this lighter shade of foundation, and this is also from My Cheek foundation, and applying this foundation, this lighter shade, on her T-zone areas, the highlight zones, which are underneath her eyes, her forehead, her jaw, and the other areas that you can also see me apply the foundation, the lighter shade of foundation. So right now what I'm basically doing is blending that. I'm just damping that into her skin so everything looks nicely done. So you need to pick up a beauty blender or any blending brush. I usually prefer to use a beauty blender because I believe that it sinks properly into the skin more than brushes. But I don't use brushes as much as I should, but maybe one of these days I will try to really get to know the difference. So right now I'm going in with Zaron concealer, and this concealer is about 3 tones lighter than that of her skin tone, and I'm applying it on her T-zone areas also, which are the highlight areas, the places where I had applied the lighter shade of foundation, and then on the middle of her nose. And then I'm going to pick up the beauty blender again and then blend that into her skin so that it sits properly. So when you're applying a concealer, you need to make sure that if the concealer is not really matte, because there are some concealers that are really like highly matte, like Adventure concealer. Let's take for example Adventure concealer. So if you're applying something like a Zaron concealer, in order for your makeup to last very long time, after applying the concealer, you need to wait for about 30 seconds or a minute so that everything sinks before you blend it. That way your makeup can last for a longer time. I hope that that is properly understood. So at this point I'm just blending everything so that it looks good on her face. So I went in with that light shade of foundation again underneath her cheekbone so that it blends properly with the neck. Not really too much, just a little bit. You don't have to do too much when it comes to makeup, foundation application as a whole, concealer application, powder, or anything you're doing. Let everything just sit right, and then just do a little bit and then you're good to go. So at this point, I'm going in with this powder palette, and I'm using a lighter shade on her skin, just basically on her T-zone areas. And I'm going in with this My Chick powder palette. I discovered that their products are really nice. They have been helping me. I think I got some of their products 2 months back, and I've not really had any regrets whatsoever. So still on this powder palette from My Chick, I'm going in with a lighter shade underneath her eyes, right here where you can see it, like towards the nose. I'm just going in with a lighter shade so that that area can pop, and just to enhance the look a little bit. So I'm going in with this setting powder from Sasha Buttercup, and I'm just going to apply that underneath her cheekbone, the way you can see me do in this video, and then basically on her highlight areas. Why I'm talking about the highlight areas and the T-zone area is because these are places where her skin is really delicate. You do not want the makeup to break at any point, so you need to make sure you go in with enough powder, and you need to make sure that you are using the right brushes and the right tools so that everything can look nice on her face. So that's what I'm talking about, the T-zone areas. As I talk about it a lot, because if you do not apply good products, and if you do not apply the products in the proper way that they should be applied, the makeup would break easily and it will not last long. So that's it, guys. So I'm also applying that setting powder just at the middle of her nose right there, and I'm going to apply the setting powder also on her brows, just to highlight the brow a little bit. You have to make sure that you wait for about a minute, and then you have to dust it off. So at this point, I'm picking up this brow gel from Carite, and I'm just going to draw a thin line underneath her brow and another thin line above her brow, the way you can see me do in this video. After doing that, I'm going to fill up the areas where she really does not have enough brow hairs. So that's what you can see me do. So I'll be doing this on this brow and replicating it on the other brow. So the same method that I used here is what I'm going to use on the other brow. So guys, after doing all of that, you have to pick up your concealer once again and then conceal underneath the brows. So I'll be going in with the lighter shade of concealer, which is about 2 tones lighter than that of her skin tone, and then I'm just going to highlight towards the outer corner of the brow underneath it, like right there. And then I'll go in with a shade that is in that of her skin tone in the inner corner of her brow, and then blend everything. In blending properly, you need to use a beauty blender or whatever blending brush that you have right there with you. So moving on, guys, to the eyes, I'm going in with Benyen eye primer, and I'm just going to apply this on her both eyes, and then pick up my beauty blender once again and blend that properly. You do not want the eyes to crease at all. You don't want it to crease, so you need to make sure that you blend that, just damp that into her skin, do not drag. So this brown shade of shadow palette of shadows that I'm using is from Zaron eyeshadow palette in their Earth palette. I'm just going to apply that on her transition area like this. I'm going to apply this on her transition area, and once I get the crease, once I get what I want, I'm going to go in with a black shade also just on the transition and the crease area right there, the way you can see me do in this video. So right now I'm going in with an orange shadow, and I'm just going to apply that. Just look at the way I'm doing. I love this blending brush that I'm using. I love this eyeshadow brush. They're like 2 in 1. It has a concealing side and also a side where you can apply shadows. I love it a lot. I think I got this for just 700 naira, and it works perfectly. Like, it has been amazing. So all you have to do is to use one side for the eyeshadow, and then use the other side. If you want to cut crease, you can use the other side to cut crease, or you can use the other side to conceal underneath your brows. Whatever you want, it just works. It's just perfect. So that's it, guys. So what I did on the other side of her eyes, I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. And just to mention, after applying the orange shade, I believe that this is orange. After applying the orange shade, I also went in with glitters just to enable the makeup pop. I really love my makeup to pop. She asked me to do whatever I wanted and whatever I thought would be fine, and I believe that this was good enough, and she really loved it. So before going in with lashes, I'm just going to go in with this Kiss Beauty mascara, just so that the places where I have the shadow on her lashes, I'll just, like, apply the black shade and it just covers the whole thing. I believe that that is understood. So I had to go in with the mascara. So right now I'm going to line underneath her eyes. This brings out her eyes the more. It just makes everything pop. So I'm going in with a black gel liner just underneath her eyes. So at this point I'm going to apply her lashes. These are false group lashes. I can't really even remember the brand, but then she didn't want it to be too long or too short either, and I think these were just the perfect lashes for the makeup. So I'm using this powder palette from My Cheek. I'm going in with her shade of powder just to blend, just to wipe off, dust off the setting powder, and I'm just going to do this all over her face in the places where I had the setting powder applied, which are her T-zone areas. So guys, for blush, I'm going in with this color. There's a little bit of red and pinkish color from Violet Vase eyeshadow palette, and I'm just applying that on her cheekbones and then on her nose, just to give me a very nice effect. And then for highlighter, I'm going in with this gold shade of lighter from Zaron eyeshadow palette, and I'm just going to highlight the top of her cheekbones right here, the way that you can see me do in this video, and then her jaw, and also on her forehead, and then on her nose, just to give me a very nice outcome. So that's what I'm doing basically, guys. So after doing that, I had to go over to the lips. So I'm going in with this the same brow gel that I used on her brows from Carite, this brown brow gel, and I'm just going to apply that on the outer corners of her lips. And then I'm going to go in with this this orange shade of Lippy from My Cheek lip palette, and I'm just going to apply that properly and then blend it properly. I'm also going to tell her to smudge, like by rubbing her lips against each other. I'm going to apply that and then ask her to smudge it by rubbing her lips against each other. So right now, guys, I'm going to still pick up this My Cheek lip palette and then apply white just at the middle of the lips right there. You can see how beautiful. I couldn't stop gushing over this. Like, it looks so nice as matte, and it also looked really good as a glossy lip stain. She really loved it. But I do love glossy a lot. I believe that it changes the whole makeup game. It just makes everything to come out really nice. So I had to go in with a transparent gloss and see the outcome. See how beautiful this came out. She really couldn't stop gushing over it, and I couldn't stop gushing over it either. So I went in with mascara again underneath her eyes. I just told her to bend her head forward a little bit so that the mascara can go in to the areas where she has hairs right there. And this mascara is from Kiss Beauty. So I'm going to go in with this Zickel setting spray and just to enable the makeup to last for a long time. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was the before and this is the after. It really came out nice and she loved it. Thank you all so much for watching. I do hope that you have learned one out or two from this video. If you have, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, turn on your notification buttons also. See you guys in my next video. Bye.